Hello and welcome. Today I've got a Ford Mondeo. It's a 2.5 ST and it is losing coolant. That's the complaint. It is losing coolant. So what I've done, I've topped it up with coolant and to the right level, and I've been running the engine for the last 10 minutes. And what I want to show you is this is our temperature. As you can see, we are already above 90, almost 100. And with this temperature, if I let this engine continue to run, it will go into the red zone up to 120. I don't have enough fuel, as you can see, and but I think this will be enough, to confirm the complaint. So the fan does not kick in at all. That's one thing that I noticed. So the fan does not kick in. So we want to see, is it the fan that is faulty or there's a leak somewhere? I'm not sure, but I'm suspecting that it could be the fan. So I'll take you to the fan and you see what I mean. Before I show you the fan, I just want to confirm that the coolant level is okay. Okay, the coolant level is fine. And the engine is running, as you can tell. And here is there is the fan down there. Will I be able to focus on the fan? So the engine just cut out. I missed that on the video there. It just cut out on its own. So I just want to see what's going on. I'll try and start the engine again here. It just cut out on me. I just want to see if it's going to repeat what it did before, because the engine just cut out on me. I sort of moved the loom there. I just touched the loom and it cut out. There you go. So I managed to catch it. There is a problem here. There's an issue on the loom. I don't know whether that's the one that is causing the fan not to, to come in. But as you can see, if I just move that part, you see, the moment I touch it, the engine ECU wakes up. The moment I move it, the engine ECU, it wakes up straight away. So that's that loom there. And on that loom, if I can show you, if we continue to go, if you see this one, that wire there, let me see, bear with me, I'll be able to, trying to focus here, focuses, yep. So that wire there is on the same loom with this one, and these wires here, they go to the fan. Okay, so there is something that is happening here. Something is not right. You can actually see we have a dry joint here. This is one of the ground. Okay, this is one of the ground wires. That's one of the ground wires there, those three. Maybe I need to check that ground, make sure that it's okay. So I'll start with the basics here, and make sure that we don't have a leak. Once I confirm that, then I'll come to the wiring. I may have to take you to the wiring diagram so that you can see what the wiring diagram is like. So on my computer screen here, I've got auto data. As you can see, I've selected the engine coolant blower motor control. So what I'm gonna do is, let me just bring it out of the way. So this is, get that one out of the way. So this is the diagram. That's the motor, and we've got, you know, the transistor here. There's a control, an ECU here. All right. So what we have then, we've got number one, wire number two, wire number three. So we can see that we can see the colors here. This is violet, which is purple. All right. And there is the black and green. Let me see, is that black and green? No, that's black and yellow, sorry. Or it can be black and green. Okay, so it's either black and green or black and yellow. So that wire there is our ground wire. As we can see, it comes to earth point number 1. So we may want to investigate and find out which, you know, where this position is. So 31 is our ground, so that's the chassis. So if we go to the top, we have got power here, right? So we have power that comes from fuse number 5, and it's a 60 amp. It is a 60 amp fuse, and as you can see, that is get rid of this. That is a permanent live, so which means it is hot all the time, regardless of the position of the key. So every time we tap into pin number 1, there is always going to be power, as long as we have got good ground. We'll be able to read what the battery voltage is. And then this is controlled through pin 4 by this violet wire, which is connected to our engine management. So that's our ECM. So that's the one that controls the fan depending on the temperature, on engine temperature. So it will switch that motor on and off, on and off, on and off, depending on what the temperature is. So in this case, as I've shown you, I have run the engine to a point that we are over 100 degrees Celsius and the fan is not coming in. So that's what I want to investigate and see what is wrong. Right, I've got safety glasses here. I have gloves, they're thick. Okay, the reason why I'm showing you the safety glasses is because I am going to open that cap. The engine has been running. I've left it for about 5-6 minutes now, but there could still be pressure in there, so you really need to be careful when you open that cap here. So what I'm going to do then is I have to hold it down, and then, as you can hear the pressure. I'm just releasing the pressure slowly. Once you start to hear the pressure coming out, you hear that hissing sound, stop until it stops again, then you start again. So I think I have it all, but I will be cautious. I will be doing it slowly. Right, I'm happy to lift it. All right, because if you just open that after the engine has been running, water can just gush straight to your face, because as we open, we bend to in order to get close and reach the cap, and water will just go straight to your face. So you really need to be careful. Make sure that you've got your goggles, you've got your gloves. I've seen people take a cloth and put a cloth on top, to protect their hand with a cloth, and then they loosen slowly until all the pressure is released. So now I have got all the pressure released. So what I want to do now, I want to use this pump here. Okay, that's the coolant pressure tester. So it's the coolant pressure tester. So I'll go in there and find the right fitting from these ones here. Okay, one that is exactly the same as this one. So I'll find the right fitting from these ones. I'll try them one by one because I'm not quite sure which one is for Ford. So stay tuned. So I found this one. I think this one is a perfect fit. I think it is a perfect fit. Make sure you tighten it fully. So next, this quick fitting. So that one there is a pressure release valve. Okay, after you pressurize this and you want to take it off, you release it first before you pull it out. So what I have here, so what we have got bar up to 2.5 bar on the outside, and inside we have got pounds per square inch. So we want to pressurize this cooling system to about 18 psi, 1820 thereabout, and then we want to watch this needle. If there is a leak, the needle will start dropping down. Okay, then there is a leak. That leak could be either here, it could be even on our fittings here. So it's important to make sure that your fittings are done correctly and there's no leak. So if this place here is fine, leaks could come here or any other place. So now when you see then the needles start to drop, what you need to do now is to start to see where the water is going out. You may find that it's spraying out. So you can check underneath the car and see. If you don't see anything underneath the car, follow the hoses and check and see where the water could be leaking. So I'll pressurize this here. So that's about 18 psi. So I want you to watch the gauge. Let's watch the gauge for the next 2 minutes so that we can conclude if there is a leak or if there is no leak. So if there is a leak, that will start to drop. So from what I can see here, our system is completely sealed, perfectly fine. We don't have loose joints. We don't have any connections that are not properly connected. everything seems to be working fine, so I am happy with that. So the next thing that I'll do now is try and see if I can check the cap itself if it is leaking, but for now I'm happy with the whole cooling system. We do not have leaks, right? So that explains it to me that the reason why water was leaking from here is because the fan wasn't running, so the system was overheating, and the next thing, pressure built up in the overflow bottle was so much that it overpowered the spring here, and the pressure spring then opened up and would allow the water to come out. So that theory to me works. That's what I think exactly, that's exactly what took place. So I'm happy with this. So I might actually proceed to check the fan now and see what is wrong with my fan. So as I said to you, you don't just pull it from the quick release here. You come here, you press that. You listen when I press that. And watch the gauge. So we are depressurizing the system. I'm happy with that. I can now take it off. Okay, back to 0. So remember when I was showing you the wiring diagram on Autodata, we agreed that our ground, it's either it's black and yellow or it is green and black. That's exactly what we have here. So there is, as you can see, that connection there is bad. Okay, maybe let me move the yellow one and you see that is, just have a look at that. That is bad. So I would want to start by fixing this joint first and then do my tests after I have this fixed, because I want to believe that this could be where my problem is. I hope you agree with me. So both of them, they share, you know, they share, they are on the ground here, and I may have to clean that ground there, look at the rust that is there. So once I repair that wire, I would also want to clean the ground. So it is important to observe things. You saw what happened there. I just moved the I just moved the loom and it cut out. So I'm thinking that there is more to it. There must be more to it, because this ground here, I'm not sure whether it's the one that was causing the engine to cut out. I'm suspecting it's the one that is causing the fan not to run. But as for cutting out of the engine, which is a problem that was not the complaint, okay, it was, he did not complain about it, so it wasn't part of the complaint, but it's something that incidentally I just bumped into. So it needs fixed too, because I wouldn't want to leave it like that and say maybe because someone did not tell me about it, then I'm not going to fix it. So I'll ring him and let him know that, hey, the engine cuts out if I move a loom. So hopefully you agree with me that we start here and do our tests. But the engine is running. You can see that the temperature is at max, right? But the fan is still not going. There's the fan, still not going. It's very difficult to zoom in there, right? But there is no movement at all. I've connected the fan direct just to see if I can will I be able to zoom in there. There's too much light. Yeah, you can see the two wires that I have down there. Okay, I've just connected direct. The blue is my positive. The blue wire is my positive, and the red one I've connected to my power probe on the ground side. So this confirms then that there's nothing wrong with the fan. It's the control unit that is not switching the fan on. So this is what we want to diagnose and see why is it not doing that.